It's Caleb.
It's Megan, and we're back with episode 9 of the hashtag Whodis podcast.
Meg, we have an absolute legend on the podcast, Tanya Poppet. For those that don't know all the details, run us through who she is.
Well, if you ask us, Tanya Poppet is the ultimate queen of balance. Her passion and approach to health and fitness is like no other. She's a fitness instructor and online blogger based in Wollongong. She specializes in high intensity functional and strength training with an online following of 389,000 followers on Instagram. She helps people around the world reach their full potential, both mentally and physically, all whilst being a mum. She also has her very own inspirational blog, online training app called Train with Tanya, and is an ambassador for Active Escapes. Well, welcome to the podcast.
Hi guys, thanks for having me. Thanks for coming all the way down to Wollongong. Not many people get down to the Gong once you're in Sydney. They're like, we won't go down there, but thank you for joining me.
I mean, it's a tongue twister to start with, welcoming us to Wollongong. I think if you can say Wollongong 3 times fast in a row, Wollongong, 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 you're like a certified Australian, I think, right?
Yeah.
It's lovely to be here. Beautiful blue sky day. We've been welcomed to the family. You got little Lawrence, who was here just a while ago, and your partner just picked him up. We got Wiggles playing on the TV.
Yes.
We got a makeshift little water slide almost happening over there. So it's a crazy time for you. I know you've given us your time during a very busy period. You're a first-time mum. Little Laurie is 12 months old, right?
Yep. You've stepped right into toddler town.
Nice. What's it been? How has it been in 2020 being a first-time mother?
It's definitely a big experience, a big life change for me, and a bit of an identity shift, I'd say. So working full-time as a trainer and doing all the business things, doing all the traveling and being able to commit myself 100% to my business, and now really backflipping, and my business is kind of on the back pedal a little bit while I spend...
Baby business.
Yeah, I'm now full baby business, and it gets tough at times. Like you find yourself shifting away from your kind of previous identity to now become a full-time mum and have all your attention on this one little child. But it's amazing. Like I love him, and I've learnt so much off him already, and I have so much fun with him every day, being silly and just singing along to Wiggles as we've got it playing in the background.
That's awesome. So how have you kind of dealt with that shift in your identity, I suppose?
I have to keep something in there for myself. So for me, obviously it's training and having that time for myself where I get to just commit some time to my body and my wellness and my overall well-being. So having that hour to myself to train is super important, even if it's just a walk or a stretch session once a day is... it's pivotal to keeping some sort of keeping myself into some sort of check, some sort of routine. Yeah.
Does Lawrence allow you to have a routine, or is it literally like, okay, I've got an hour here, let's get out the door?
So at the moment, I do a gym session twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week if I'm lucky. I go to a local gym down the road here, and I get an hour there in the morning, and Joff looks after him, my partner, while he gets ready for work, and that's really good. It's I like having that sort of routine at the moment, but usually if I'm getting my hour while he's napping, it's all over the place, and sometimes I do miss out on my training session depending what kind of day we've had.
Are you doing, you can't see it on picture at the moment, we've got an assault bike, we've got, I saw some kettlebells, some ab roll, what do you call those, the roller device for your abs? Ab roller,
it's an ab roller.
Yeah. So are you kind of multitasking some days with the Wiggles playing and whatnot, definitely, on the assault bike at the same time?
Yeah. I usually I'll keep the assault bike for when Joff's home, so then I can watch Friends while I go on it. I put the headphones on because it makes so much noise, and I'll watch an episode of Friends while I'm on the assault bike. But I'll do like a dumbbell workout, kettlebell workout. He's pretty good. He loves watching me train, so I've got that added bonus. But another thing that I love doing is I'll take him down to the park and let him play while I just use body weight and just do like some pull-ups on the monkey bars or just do some step-ups and that sort of thing. And yeah, he has fun with it, and he loves going to the outdoor equipment and doing it with me, so it's good.
So what you're saying is you've taken 2020 to a whole new level of multitasking.
Yeah.
You're the queen of multitasking.
Creating a little fitness goal as well.
Yeah, he loves it.
Does he mimic you when you do workouts?
Yeah, he's always trying to do the kettlebell swing, which is bad now because he can actually wobble the heavy kettlebell. It's 20 kilos and he wobbles it, so he's not allowed to play with that anymore. But he used to like stand up and just hip thrust towards the kettlebell.
I've actually seen that before. Kids going to like get dumbbells and kettlebells, and I'm like, whoa, I'm 23 and I'm still a bit scared to touch the heavy weights.
He'll have the biggest quads of any 1-year-old going around. Get him up on stage for a baby bodybuilding contest or something.
He was really funny when he was little. I think he thought the kettlebells were pets because they kind of moved.
Oh, no way.
And he would like giggle and point and then would crawl up to them and like touch them, because like he does the same thing with my cat Jazz. Yeah, it was really funny.
Yeah.
Now I think he knows that they're just objects.
You've broken it to him.
Yeah.
Well, going a bit more into your health and fitness, I guess, what was your upbringing like? We know that you're a bit of a runner as well.
Yeah.
Did you grow up super active, doing heaps of sports? How did you venture into the world of health and fitness?
Well, I've got a lot of brothers and sisters. I've got 5 brothers, and 3 sisters. So there's 4 girls and 5 boys.
You have a tribe.
Yeah, we do. We have our own football team. Yeah, so they were pretty much all of them were sporty in some way or form. And yeah, being the second youngest, I just got taken to all their different sports, and like whether I liked it or not, I would do it along with them. And I wasn't the most coordinated kid. I think I was more into the creative arts kind of thing growing up. So yeah, I got taken to their team sports, playing touch, playing netball, and I tried my heart out, but I wasn't very good at any of the sports. Except athletics, I eventually got pretty good at running when I got into my teenage years, and I was pretty determined to get good. So I would run a lot as a teenager and got good at the track and field and the long distance events. So yeah, I grew up doing athletics and cross country running through high school, and yeah, that was awesome.
Oh, nice. Actually, I did this very similar. What was your distance of choice?
4K.
4K? Yeah. Wow. Obviously not on track, because that's not a typical track event. So that's your cross country.
Yeah, for athletics it was the 3K, but I was definitely better at cross country. I hated the track. I hated doing 3K on track. It was just the most mind-melting thing ever. Yeah.
Yeah, not for the creative type. No way to start to
And the 1500, I wasn't really fast enough.
Yeah.
I was all right. Like I'd still make it to the state level, but I was pretty slow.
I think that's the biggest oxymoron.
I made it to state.
Yeah, I wasn't the best. I made it to state level.
No, but I was in an easy region because I was from a small town.
Okay,
so we go up around if I was in the city, I would get eaten alive.
Fair enough. Nice. So you picked the perfect career. If you're creative minded and you love running, you're into your fitness, then being an IG influencer, for want of a better term, a fitness IG star is perfect. You got a creative outlet to actually express your other passion, which is your main passion, which is like health and fitness. So do you want to talk a little bit more about how that started, how you got onto Instagram and did what like 99.9% of people can't do on Instagram in your industry, which is actually like build a sizable following, like 380,000. Incredible.
Yeah, so it started around 2014. I was just out of uni and working full-time as a teacher, and I'd done my Cert 3 and Cert 4 in personal training as well. And I was just myself really struggling with balance and balancing out my teaching career, working as a teacher and doing coaching part-time, and also fitting in my own training session.
Now, that's not a teacher as in a PT. That's a teacher as in a school teacher,
yeah,
right?
School teacher, primary school teacher. So I was working, full-time as a primary school teacher, and trying to balance out coaching as well in the mornings and the afternoons, and then, finding a spot for myself to train. And I was just really into HIIT at the time because it was just the easiest way to get my workout done, short and sweet. And sometimes it was just body weight in my apartment before I left in the morning. Sometimes it was when I was at the gym that I was working at. And I just, found this little groove, and I was trying to show my friends how easy it was, show my clients that even on the days you don't come to me, you can get a quick workout in. And I was also into my healthy baking and healthy recipes back then. So I was like, I'll start my own little page and showcase all the things I love. And it just grew. My workouts got shared it was back in the day when if your workout got shared by another page, it would just like skyrocket. Now it's a little bit more harder. But it was, just grew from there, and my followers just kept going up, and my little community grew where people were doing my workouts, and it's really awesome. Like, I will share something that I'm doing, and I have people the next day doing it in their own house, like all over the world, which is really cool.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. And so you've built this big community online, and you've actually got your brand new app. When did that launch? Sorry.
So I had an app originally in 2015, and it was through another company, and it was just body weight workouts that you could do off the fly, and they didn't really like go together in a program or anything. It was just something you could go, okay, I'm stuck for a workout today, and I'll follow along with Tanya with this workout at home. And now I've made it a transition with another development company, and we've got a full program. So we've got 2 bodyweight programs that work together to help build you towards something. So I kind of have shifted my mindset with my training, and I really want people to train with intention before intensity. So these programs are designed to help you build towards something. So build your body weight strength and build a strong base with your body weight. So I notice a lot of my clients, they'd get stuck, like they'd be really strong with their weighted workouts and doing everything in the gym, but when I got them to do a push-up, they'd really struggle. And I was like, you've definitely got the strength there. You just need to learn how to coordinate with your body. So all the programming I've got in my app is built towards building that base strength and learning to connect with your body before grabbing the dumbbells.
Amazing. I love that philosophy. And it's a great way to get injured if you try to push intensity before actually having a base. So
exactly.
Yeah, that's really good. I mean, for the everyday person, but also someone who actually is, I mean, it's funny, you even look at a professional bodybuilder or whatever, like they've got that circuit, or a professional tennis player or whatever, they've got that time, that off-season training where they're building that base again. They might have been training for like 15 years in their chosen discipline, and they're still building that base in their off-season.
Exactly. And they all do the basics frequently to keep that base, whereas I think we get so caught up in doing all the exciting fun HIIT classes and jumping into CrossFit workouts, and often forget where our body needs to start from and learn how to connect with our body and rebuild that way. And there's a really good push at the moment for doing all those basic movements again, and the prehab and all that sort of stuff intertwined with your workouts. So it's really good to see that people are starting to take that time and attention to focus on what their body can do and how they can build that strength, and not just go for intensity and not just go about burning calories and sweating for the sake of sweating.
Yeah, amazing. What are the 2 programs? Can you talk a little bit more about that in terms of your app and the programs on it?
Yeah, so we start with the Fresh on the Circuit program, and it's just a 4-week program to introduce you to the next program. So it's just one that's going to build you with the basics, beginner basic movements that you can try at home and learn how to rebuild and connect with your body. And then we go into our Bodyweight Boss program, which is a 12-week program, and you get towards the fun stuff at the end, but we still really harness all the basic movements, and we look at all the prime movements, and I just look at developing through different variations throughout the 12 weeks to hopefully get you stronger at each of those movements.
I think I'm sold. Sign me up.
Where's your phone? There it is. Get on it.
What was the process like actually creating the app? Lots of sweat, tears, lots of sweat. Maybe.
Yeah, filming was a bit
Hopefully
of
no
a...
blood.
yeah. It was pretty good. Like I've been doing this stuff for years, and I've just looked at the different movements that I've been integrating in my program, and I've been looking at the way my training has evolved, and I didn't want people doing HIIT workouts or anything high intensity every day, but I know that some people want to do something every day to stay in that routine. So there's a workout for every day, even though you might not choose to work out every day, but I have varying degrees of intensity. So one day we've got our maintenance day is on the Saturday and Sunday. We've got maintenance and mobility, which is just focused, our maintenance sessions are focused on connecting to your different joints and keeping them nice and healthy, and doing a lot of different prehab kind of movements and mobility movements, learning how to get strength and stability in different positions that you might not be super strong and stable in. And then our mobility is just like a nice little flow on your Sunday that you can combine with, it's just a 10-minute flow that will go on with anything else that you do that weekend. So I'm really all about encouraging people to just live life on the weekend and do activity outside of the gym or outside of a structured workout. And then, throughout the week, we've got 2 strength-focused sessions. They're called our build sessions, where we're focusing on building strength in the different positions. So we do a push movement, a pull movement, a squat and a hinge movement usually. And so they're just focusing on, it's a full body workout, but just focusing on different variations of those movements. And then we've got a HIIT cardio session on the Friday, and Monday is just a hybrid where you do a little bit of everything to keep the variety there.
Awesome.
Yeah, nice.
What's your favorite? If you could only choose one workout from your entire...
I like the hybrid workouts because, you start off with a little bit of HIIT, and then you do your strength workout, and then you do a little bit of mobility on the end.
Oh, nice. Very well-rounded workout. Yeah.
Awesome. You obviously post a lot of content on Instagram around these themes as well, in terms of training and how to do it according to a more rational way of doing things for the everyday person, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit more about how your themes and your ideas around fitness have kind of, I'm not sure if change is the correct word, but how you've kind of taken things over the last, say, 5-6 years of being on Instagram, and what you are trying to really express through your Instagram.
Yeah, so it's definitely evolved. When I first got out in the industry, I was just about being a badass, and like sweating and like getting out and doing everything really high intensity all the time. But as you know, your body can't really cope with that, too much of that. And at the time I was working full time and I was coaching, and it just got a little bit too much for my body. And then I just looked at what I was doing and keeping myself like in that elevated state all the time, and not having any time to just connect with the movement and just use it as a way to wind down as well. So just finding that movement didn't always need to be about sweating and getting the heart rate up, and being a true cross-country girl, that's what I really thought that it was back in the day.
Going out and killing yourself every session.
Yeah. And so, it's just gradually evolved over the years. I've done extra education. I've had some different mentors. Like I was up in ION for a couple of years, working with those strength and conditioning coaches there, and changing my mindset away from, training as just a way to get sweaty. And although it's super fun and I still love my really high intensity sessions, that you've got to keep your body and your mind in it for the long game, and how you can keep your body in it for the longevity rather than just focusing on being good at workouts, which was a bit of a shift for me.
All right. So talking more about your social channels, you also share a lot of education around pre and postnatal training throughout, before and after. So I'm going to move us into a little segment here called hashtag baby talk, because you're a first time mother. And so yeah, we're going to fire some pregnancy questions at you. So the first one is, what was your routine like during and after pregnancy?
Okay, well, during was a whole lot different to after, but during pregnancy, I've got to rack my brain back, but I was working down in Gerringong, coaching down in a little strength and conditioning gym down there, which was super fun, and I worked all the way up until like 2 days before I went into labour.
Yeah,
Wow.
But yeah, I felt fine. Like I had a lot of energy while I was pregnant towards the later stages. The first trimester is awful. It's like you can't tell anyone you're pregnant, but you're tired all the time. And I was going up and down to Sydney frequently then too, and doing lots of work. Like I worked over in Bali for a retreat, and yeah, I was pretty knackered all the time. But once I got past that 12-week mark, or it was around the 13, 14 week, I had a good amount of energy then. And yeah, I felt pretty good throughout the rest of my pregnancy. Working, training-wise, everything felt pretty good. I modified my training pretty intensely. Like I cut it down a lot to... it's more of a preventative strategy rather than I felt like I needed to. But yeah, your body's going through so many changes during pregnancy that I just didn't feel like I wanted to kind of challenge my body and see where it could go while I was pregnant. I was more about what I can do now to kind of prevent anything happening, like any injuries or any risk of diastasis recti, or not preventing but minimizing any pelvic floor issues that you might get during pregnancy. So yeah, it was energy wise, I felt great, but yeah, I still had to kind of tailor my routine around that. I had day naps often when I could. And yeah, just working as much as my body would let me. And yeah, it was actually a really fun time. I thought I hated it during it, but I'm like, no, I'm pretty keen to go back.
Oh, wow.
It was fun being
Are you
pregnant.
hinting?
No, not yet. Not yet. I don't know if I can handle the 2 kids.
Nice. Well, I mean, the second question you've kind of just answered a little bit, but perhaps you can go a little bit more into also post-childbirth.
Yeah.
But obviously a lot changes in terms of not only your body, but also, as you mentioned, your routine, your goals, the way you approach, I suppose, health and fitness, and your ideals, not only during pregnancy, but also post-childbirth. So can you talk a little bit more about how that kind of played out in your own life? Yeah,
so post-baby, I didn't really train too much for about 3 to 4 months. It was the first 12 weeks pretty much was me learning to take on this new role as a mum. Like, you're working with minimal sleep, you're dealing with a huge array of emotions as you take on this new little role, and especially breastfeeding, your body's going through all these different changes as well, and still healing and repairing. Like, it's gone through this big 9 months of growing a human, then labour is just a whole other story. And you're like,
I'm scared.
Yeah. And then, yeah, you just go in that newborn bubble, which is so awesome. And I think society nowadays kind of pressures you to feel like you need to be doing stuff straight after having a baby. Like, you need to go outside like within the first week, or you need to start getting into training after the 6 weeks, when they're all time frames that people give you as just rough estimates. But yeah, you don't need to get straight back into training. Your body's still your mind and your body is still learning to deal with this new thing that's happened to your life, and you've got a new baby, you're trying to deal with everything changing. So yeah, I had at least 3 to 4 months off kind of intense training. I was still walking, doing my pelvic floor exercises, doing some low intensity core exercises, trying to regain my core control and my pelvic floor control. And yeah, just walking bub was the best kind of exercise that I could do at that time. So yeah, I had a good amount of time to just learn this new lifestyle, get to know my new baby, get to know how to be a good mum. You're learning so much. And I really feel like if you're a new mum and you feel there's any sort of pressure to get back into training, that there's not. And I also advise any new mums to not just get a 6-week check. So you go for your 6-week check with the doctor and they tell you whether you can exercise or not. Don't just go to a doctor because they don't do a thorough check. You need to go to a women's physio, especially if you're getting back into any sort of intense training. So yeah, that's one for all the new mums out there.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Well, I guess you've almost kind of answered the next question.
And she's answered the next question after you as well. So I'm like,
because I talk so much.
Time to think of new questions here.
Wow, putting us to the test. I guess, well, yeah, what are your top 3 tips for moving? Is there anything in particular that you would give advice to anyone who's going through their pregnancy or after, ways that they can move their body or ways from that you move your own body?
So my biggest tip would be to, especially if you're really into your training, it's such a big mind shift. So you're going from this kind of mentality where you're always trying to progress in your training and you're trying to get better with all the training that you're doing, where when you're pregnant, you're not really trying to progress, you're just trying to maintain and try to keep some sort of element of fitness into your body. You're trying to keep your posture, like it's kind of preventative kind of training. So you're trying to prevent any like postural imbalances that you can get during pregnancy. You're just trying to keep happy and healthy, and where you can still train with some sort of intensity. There's no rule around that, but I would get some sort of guidance. I really found some guidance from a women's health physio was important to me because I wanted to keep my body strong and healthy. And although I might be very in tune with my body before pregnancy, your body's going through so many changes during pregnancy. It's hard to know what's going on, even if you do listen to your body. So yeah, having some sort of external feedback from a professional is really helpful. I also really loved Pilates while I was pregnant as well because they just do such a good job of stability, learning how to brace through the core and pelvic floor work. And it's just a nice low intensity. Well, it's actually kind of high intensity, some of the Pilates, but it's just a low impact kind of class that you can do and still get a good burn and learn how to move your body really well. And what was I going to say? The last tip I probably give is, not to rush into training postnatal. You don't need to rush into training, especially while your sleep is out of whack. Your body's not going to be able to recover from any kind of high intensity training. So I recommend just easing your way back into it, having some time where you're just getting to know this new routine, or even if you don't have a routine like me because your baby's all out of whack, just getting into some sort of routine and just easing your way back into it and learning how to adapt your old lifestyle to your new lifestyle.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Sounds like a whole lot of flexibility needed.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm stealing your last question, Meg, because I skipped mine because Tanya already answered it.
Sorry.
Well, no, you're doing great. Look, if this was a university exam, you get an HD.
Yeah.
HD. In fact, you're probably getting up, taking over the tutor's role and starting teaching the class themselves because you're going above and beyond.
When you were talking about posture, actually, I realised how hunched I was and I was like, oh no!
Podcasts are the worst.
No,
I was always thinking about myself. I was like, because every time, like especially here, you got to go down to the
Yeah.
microphone. It's like,
I was
Yeah.
like, wow.
how do I do this? How
I
do
did
do
it
this?
myself, don't worry.
Everyone
Um,
at home's probably realised maybe they're hunched too. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like, wow.
Especially if they're recording a podcast at home. I don't think they're doing that.
Or driving, and they could be driving.
They could be.
I always drive like this, like an old lady.
For all the podcasters out there, pay attention to your posture. Very important. Very important. All right, here's one for not the podcasters, but the trainers out there. What are your best tips that you could give to trainers who have both pregnant clients and then clients who have just come back from childbirth?
One would be to do some sort of education around pre and postnatal training. It changes all the time, and we don't get enough in our certifications. Like, a lot of the certifications don't even cover pre and postnatal training. So if you're a trainer and you do have clients that are pre and postnatal, definitely do some sort of education so that you can support them, and also make sure that they're seeing a women's health physio. So you have a direct line of feedback with the women's health physio or exercise physiologist, so that they can kind of inform your decisions as well, and also listen to the client too, and always get new information from the client, because pregnancy changes as well, and their ability to do different things changes all throughout the pregnancy. So yeah, you've got to keep on top of the game, and I really am passionate about trainers getting the required support and education to support women who are pregnant and postnatal, and not just going off their feeling or information that they might have found on the internet that's like 10 years old, because it's always changing.
Yeah. Is there anything, I guess, that you took from your own journey that you can now apply to your coaching and with your own clients now?
Yeah, just being able to ask the woman how they're feeling that day, because it's just changing all the time. And whilst just going off feeling isn't the best, because you got to know what your body's actually going through, because that can also inform your decisions around training too, and just using milestones as a rough guide throughout your pregnancy and throughout training someone during their pregnancy. So yeah, just having that open conversation with people who are going through their pregnancy and postnatal as well, and how their body's feeling that day and how their recovery's going, or how their pregnancy is progressing, because even from a safety standpoint, like blood pressure can rise and all that sort of thing, which is a contraindication for exercise. So yeah, it's important to always keep on top and have that open line of feedback.
The power of asking questions.
Definitely.
Who would have thought? And what about this for a segue? We're going to be asking some questions right now. In the next segment, hashtag Spirulina Shots.
Well, let's pause the podcast for a second. Just a quick announcement. Firstly, thank you so much for tuning into the hashtag Who Dis podcast so far. Just a quick reminder, remember to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future episodes, and don't forget to share it with your friends. You can also find us at Tropika on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, Facebook, pretty much all over the web for all of your health and fitness inspo, along with a whole lot of fun.
So we got Spirulina Shots. This is our favourite segment. This is, though it shouldn't be, because we suck so often and we're the ones doing the Spirulina Shots. For those that haven't seen Spirulina Shots before, how it works is, well, actually, I won't explain how it normally works. We're doing a little bit different today. But spirulina, what's spirulina? It's the most badass superfood on the planet. It's so nutrient dense. That's the upside. The downside is it tastes like creek. When you add water to it, it tastes like creek water. So the secret is just to put a little bit in your smoothies. Tanya, you were saying earlier, just before off air, you put a little bit in your smoothies. That's wisdom right there.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't do shots. That's more wisdom there. And you certainly don't do spirulina shots.
No,
That's that is the ultimate level of wisdom combined together. But guess what? We're doing it today because we're a little bit crazy and we're superfood professionals around here. So how it will work, Meg's created some pretty good would you rather questions. I was writing down my answer And I was a bit, I don't know. So this game could go anywhere,
Yeah.
but essentially we're going to ask you a question. Would you rather option A or option B? Then whoever's asking the question is going to guess which one Tanya would actually answer. If we get it right and we guess correctly what you answer, you do the spirulina shot. If we get it wrong, either Caleb, myself, or Meg has to do the spirulina shots. Tanya, are you ready?
Yeah, I feel like my DHA omega-3 is going to be through the roof after this.
Yeah, I love it. DHA, EPA going through the roof. The brain function after this will be if our conversation doesn't get better in the second half of this segment, then we haven't had enough spirulina, clearly. Alrighty. So this was hard. First question. Would you rather, and we can show it to the screen, though in post-edit we'll just put it up so everyone can see the answer on the screen. Would you rather wear a winter coat during a jog or wear latex during a yoga class? Meg, how long's the jog for? There's the jog. There is devil in the detail. How long's this jog for and how long's this yoga class for?
We'll make them even. So like a yoga class can generally be like, well, let's say an hour. Either an hour jog in a winter coat or
How
an
hot's
hour.
the day? Is it like
It's
today?
boiling.
Boiling! She's
It
gonna
has
die.
to be boiling. It can't be a cold.
Is it a hot yoga class as well?
Oh.
We need specifics here.
Okay, yes, let's do it. Hot yoga class.
Okay, so we got a hot day jogging for an hour. You could be dead. And we got a hot yoga class wearing latex.
Okay.
Which one would you rather for an hour of each?
I hate hot yoga at the best of times, so I'm going to say hot yoga.
Hot yoga. Wait,
Yeah.
no. Which one would you rather?
Oh, I'd rather run in
You'd
the
rather
winter
run. I
coat.
can't even remember what answer I put. Let me have a look. Oh, no, I've got it wrong. I thought you'd rather wear
No
latex.
way.
I just wouldn't want to put latex on, and hot yoga stresses me out.
This is a crappy question for me to be even asked. I've never worn latex in my life. I've got no idea how it feels. I've never done hot yoga. All right, whatever. I just knew that like the winter coat. I could relate to a winter coat running for an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I know it would suck, but I don't know. Just something about
Wouldn't be
yoga
worse than
and
doing yoga
Yeah.
in latex.
Well,
Just
I'm
putting it on
gonna-
would be the
I'll
worst.
line them all up and we'll do shots together at the end. I reckon.
Okay, yeah.
Which
let's
could just
do it.
be like me. doing
Massive.
5. All right, you're next.
Okay, so the next one is, would you rather teach an easy workout class or take the hardest workout class?
How long's it for, the workout class?
Oh,
We do it an hour
let's
again?
make it 2 hours.
2 hours? Do
Well, it's
classes go
either
for
easy
2
or
hours?
hard, so
Yeah, okay.
I'll teach an easy class.
you would rather teach an easy class?
Yeah.
What'd
Damn
you
it.
write down? Oh, really?
Mine was take the hardest one.
Yeah, no.
Dang.
No, people will love me if I was teaching an easy class.
Oh,
They'd be
that's
like,
so
"Oh."
true. I didn't think of the pros.
Yeah, that's true. So you're doing it just for just for people to love you, pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah, all right,
definitely.
fair enough.
I love that angle.
All right, well, Meg and I are 1-0 down each of us, so grab one of them. This ain't looking good, this segment for us. All right, surely I get this right. Would you rather take a gym selfie with everyone stopping to watch you or do a workout for an hour without music?
Oh, workout without music. I do it all the time.
Oh, no way!
Really? I'm
Yeah.
so surprised.
No, I just sing in my head most of the time.
I've literally got here gym selfie. I would have thought that you would have wanted to do a
Just
gym
like,
selfie just because
yeah.
it's over with straight
And
away.
you just get it done and you can...
I work out without music often.
Oh, I should have done a workout without listening to Friends at the same time. That was where I went wrong.
Yeah. Or if I was on the assault bike, maybe you should have specified.
See,
I
the
could
devil
not do
is-
that
yeah.
without music.
The devil is in the detail. God, we suck.
I feel like I've just sabotaged us with these questions, our own game. All right. So the next one is, would you rather eat only broccoli with every meal or only spinach with every meal?
Only broccoli.
Yes!
Oh, you
I
got
got
it.
that one right. Yes.
Show the screen.
Yeah, I'm not a
wrote it down,
spinach
hold
girl.
on.
Only broccoli. All
Yeah,
right.
especially after pregnancy, like the spinach is just. I only like it in things.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was about to take it then. Not too keen.
No, wait. Look, wait for the fun. Wait for the fun. Alrighty, I've got to get on the board here. In the other way, workout. Would you rather work out in a gym that only has treadmills, or work out in a gym that has no equipment?
Work out in a gym that has no equipment.
Yes.
Damn it!
Cool
I'm
one.
pretty fit for this.
Yeah, I thought that was actually an easy question.
Yeah.
You can blame Meg for that one. No equipment.
I actually
fell
have a
into the
funny
screen.
story. I was in like New Zealand in this beautiful part of the world, and they had a hotel gym, and I was like, oh, cool, I'm going to go use the hotel gym. I was shooting treadmill workouts at the time, so we were out on hiking trails running a lot, so I just wanted to do some sort of strength workout. And I go to the hotel gym, and it's this little treadmill in this dingy little hotel room, and I was like, I think I'll just go outside and do something.
Yeah, I don't get the whole one. Okay, so one of the best tips I ever heard for someone who traveled a lot, and they
Yeah.
said, what's your number one tip when you go to a new city you haven't been to? And he said, put your runners on
Yeah.
and go for a run.
Yeah.
One, because you get to explore the city, but two, if you're running, you get to do it quicker, you get to see and get a feel of the city, and also it kind of really helps for jet lag as well.
Yeah.
And I don't get people that go to a really nice location. Granted, if you're in the middle of a city and you're there for work or whatever, and you
Yeah.
just hit the treadmill.
Yeah.
I don't get people who like go to a lovely paradise and you've got the beach there you can run on, and
Yeah.
they go on the treadmill in the
Yeah.
hotel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nah. I do all my cardio usually outdoors unless I'm on the assault bike because of the lorry. I'm not a treadmill girl.
Yeah, you got to make fitness fun. Treadmill
Yeah.
is just no wonder people can hate fitness. It's like if you're doing stuff like that,
Yeah.
yeah, it's rough.
All right. Oh, it looks like we've only got one spirulina shot actually, so maybe we should make it a double or nothing.
Ooh, does that even work? You can't do double or nothing with one. I think your
All
only
right.
option is just to pick. What do you reckon? Which question's better?
Which one will you
I
get
reckon
right?
I reckon do the next one and leave the push-ups and sit-ups one, because
Okay.
I actually think this next question you did is kind of cool.
All right, here we go. So, would you rather wear the same sweaty gym clothes or be surrounded by people who grunt obnoxiously and as loudly as possible with every single rep?
I think, well, I probably would rather the other people being the annoying people than me being the stinky one in the gym. So I'll be around the grunters because then I can judge them and the other people aren't judging me for wearing stinky workout clothes.
No, my answer was you would rather wear sweaty workout
Yeah,
clothes.
we talked about this in the car. I'm like, what? I mean, obviously you haven't gotten a...
I would.
Yeah, you probably smell of like peaches and cream when you're sweating. Like
Yeah.
me, I smell like an absolute animal. So for me, I don't even want to be in the same clothes for 4 minutes. So
Yeah.
For you, yeah, I was like, when you told me that, I'm like, nah,
But if you're
surely
only
not.
in like a crop top and shorts,
Yeah.
and it minimizes your clothing, so you're not as stinky.
Yeah. It depends. If it's a workout in like Bali, somewhere humid, then I probably wouldn't want to put the same
Yeah,
clothes
yeah,
on. If
yeah.
it was a
Fair
cardio
enough.
workout, then I wouldn't put the same clothes
Yeah.
on. But
Look, put
Yeah.
it this way. If I asked you the first question, would you rather wear a winter coat that was sweaty and smelly or wear latex during a yoga class? I think I would have got that question right.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the clothing. All right, we got, what do we end up with?
Time for shots.
I can't even see yours.
All two each. No
Everyone's
way.
got two.
yeah, equal.
Oh, what a beautiful way.
Even Steven.
All right, how do
All
we
right.
want to do this? Do we want to have like a competition? Who can? No, because
Competition.
Tanya will. She said she can't. She can't
Oh
handle
yeah,
shots.
we've got to be
She'll
very cautious here.
She'll be spewing them across the room.
I won't spew. I'll just like splutter.
Where are your raincoats? Do you have a couple of ponchos we can chuck on?
I'm wearing the right colour for this.
Alrighty, let's do it.
Let's do it.
And then smile to the camera. He's getting on camera.
Okay.
All right.
Cheers.
Oh, second bad. Okay, second one.
Oh. Then you gotta lick it.
No.
Well,
Yeah, you did well. Smile to the camera. Oh, that'd be nice.
For someone who hasn't done a spirulina shot before, you took that like a
That was actually pretty good.
champion. Wow.
That spirulina wasn't too bad at all.
I was nice. I was easy.
Yeah, that was. I don't think you went as thick as usual.
Yeah, I thought I'll just be a little nice
You were
this
nice,
time.
but you still took it well. That was still doing 2 back to back. Got to be tough for that. You got to be mentally tough. Nice.
All right, so we're going to move into some fitness questions here, and this one's called #fitness shots fired. So we're going to be firing some fitness questions just to get a little bit more background detail about your health and fitness journey, where you're at now, advice you can give to other people as well, and all that kind of stuff. So first question is, what's your favorite and least favorite exercise?
Okay, my favorite exercise. Oh, it's so hard to choose. Probably just because of its versatility, it would be a man maker or a woman maker, you know.
What is that? I've never heard that.
Okay, so it's just you go down for a push-up, then you go renegade row. So you've got push, pull, and then you come up for a squat, and then you squat with the dumbbells on a front rack, and then you press it up the top.
Oh.
And then that's
Yeah,
done.
wow.
Yeah.
So you're not really pulling anything when you do the push up.
No, so you do a push-up onto the dumbbells. So you push up on the...
Okay,
yeah.
sorry. Yeah,
Sorry.
I follow it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a burpee, but with weights.
So who was the genius that came up with that? Those names?
I don't know.
Can we even figure it out? Do we know why it's called? You called it a man maker?
maker.
Yeah, some people call it a man eater.
Oh.
But yeah, man maker, man eater. It's a good little exercise, nice and efficient. And my least favorite, I don't know. I kind of like all exercises. I feel like they all have their place. But I'm not a real fan of jumping lunges. I just don't like doing them myself. Yeah.
Nice, I like it. Is that all power-based output or just purely jumping lunges that you...
Purely jumping lunges.
Yeah. Nice. The next question, you've answered it again pretty much earlier in the podcast, but actually you can tell us about what your current approach to fitness is right now, as of today, as of 4:35 p.m.
It's just to move and get stronger, I feel. My goals at the moment, so I was always pretty like, I always wanted to have good control over my body weight. So I love being able to do push-ups and pull-ups, and they were my biggest goals getting back after having Laurie, was getting my strength back in my push-ups and my pull-ups, because the upper body strength for me is something that goes first whenever I have a rest of training. So yeah, it's just getting stronger in those and getting my endurance up to where it was pre-baby, which has been a bit of a journey, but I'm getting there, I think.
Awesome.
Nice. So we actually talked a bit before about what exercise looks like traveling, when you told your fun little hotel treadmill story. So yeah, what does your exercise routine look like?
Usually I'm away on retreats, or I'm working in some way, shape or form, which involves doing lots of exercise for work. So it's pretty light usually when I'm traveling. I walk. I like walking and seeing all the views and going and experiencing a different country or a different place like that. Just getting out and walking is my favorite, and just getting my overall steps up. And yeah, depending on what I'm traveling for, I can do a small workout or go to a gym. I like going to different gyms in different countries because it's always a different environment and a different culture. And
what's the weirdest thing you've seen in an overseas gym?
Oh, I don't know.
Or something that stood out.
Italian gyms were pretty funny, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I thought that...
The treadmills go backwards?
No, I don't know. It was just... I found it was very like cliche men like grunting with like big like singlets and
the chest
and
hair
then
poking out and
and all the girls on the treadmills and that sort of thing. And I also went to this funny gym in my partner. He's from Quebec, and there's this town La La Picatière, which is a little bit further away from his, but like nice and close to his small town. And it was owned by like a bikie gang or something.
Oh, wow.
And they're like,
What?
yeah. And they're just, it was this old school gym. Like the equipment was so old, and they had like Arnie posters up on the wall.
And a
Oh.
tattoo parlor and a gun shop out the back.
yeah. It was a bit of a funny gym. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. That's cool. I like it. Okay, so a little bit of a scenario on this next question. You got someone who's just gone in to a gym. You're the PT. Welcome, hello. Their first time ever training, taking on a brand new fitness journey. What's your number one piece of advice for them?
Just start with where you're at and don't compare yourself to anyone else. Like everyone's always at their own journey, and you think that everyone's looking at you in the gym when really they're just focusing on what they're doing. And if they're looking at you, it's because they're self-conscious themselves. So I would just keep the I would just keep the mind frame that just working on yourself and just taking the time to let yourself progress without worrying about what anyone else is thinking of you.
So good.
Excellent. You told us that you love your sweet and easy workouts. So what's your go-to workout when you're short on time?
Usually I just set a timer, like 15 minutes or 12 minutes or something like really short, and do an AMRAP. So as many reps or rounds as possible of a few exercises. I usually choose a nice balance. So I'll look for something that's a squat variation, a pull variation, a push variation, and a hinge variation, and just do, a little round of that.
Yep, one set of each.
No. So you do a set of as many rounds as you can of those exercises in a little bit of a circuit, as many rounds as you can for the 15 minutes.
Okay,
so just
you'll keep on going.
continuous.
Okay, so it's time-based.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice. And here's a cool one. How do you stay motivated?
Oh, I don't know. Motivation's very fleeting. It can come and go. So I find having a routine, some sort of routine, is helpful. And on the days where routine doesn't work, I will just try and make it fun. Try and make whatever I'm doing fun, or go out and integrate, like Laurie usually, because he's at the moment, that's who I'm usually with all the time. So I will go out and take him to the park, and then while he's at the park, I have no other excuse than to do something active while I'm watching him. So it's just finding time and trying to get started is the biggest thing. So just getting outside is my biggest strategy usually. If I find I'm in a rut, is I'll just get outside, or if it's raining, just put on a timer and start doing something.
Honestly, being a mom is just a workout. Whenever I hold
definitely.
a toddler or a baby, my arms hurt for days. I am like, how do they carry these children around? Like, what?
Oh, when they start crawling, you're like running everywhere. You're like, where is he?
All right, we're going into the final questions. It's been a real fun podcast so far, Tanya. First question. What does your wellness routine look like outside of fitness and jumping in the gym and whatnot? Everything from stress reduction, meditation, your sleep routine, if you've even got one with a little child at the moment, beauty care, skin care. Run us through everything you do wellness-wise.
Okay, so usually for sleep, I will have a little nap sometimes when Laurie naps, and it's just like a little way I can recharge. And meditation, I find when I'm feeding Laurie is the best time for me to meditate, because he's all calm and relaxed and there's no way he can interrupt me. He just likes feeding. He's all content. And I'll just do some deep breaths then, and usually that puts him to sleep too once I do those sorts of breathing. So I find that's a good time to be mindful, and it's just an awesome way to connect with Laurie as well. Like, he's in my arms, he's feeding, he's all cuddled up, and I find when we're both together and we're both relaxed, and it's just a nice time. So that's when I find it's really nice to be mindful and present. And I love a dip in the ocean. That's always, whenever I'm feeling stressed or overwhelmed, that's one thing I always go to, is a nice refreshing dip. and it always finds that it clears my head no matter how stressed I'm feeling. Skin wise, I'm really bad with like my skincare routine. I'm always swapping and changing, but I do a little cleanse overnight, put some serum on, and I'm all about the tea tree oil for my skin, and I like the smell. And lavender's awesome. Like I use that as a toner often, and it's a good way to go to sleep because lavender's nice and calming.
Very smart, yes.
And nutrition wise, I just always make sure that I'm having some sort of fruit or vegetable with every meal, and protein as well. And I'm pretty balanced. Like I love healthy food, but I also agree that some food is made for the soul as well. And I'm not afraid to treat myself because I think there's benefits in that as well.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Balance is
nice.
key.
Yeah. Well, you're obviously very, very successful. First-time mom, you've got your own app, a massive community. So what are your future aspirations and goals that you're looking forward to?
I'm really just looking forward to getting back to training one-on-one. Like I love training people and I love connecting in person as well and seeing people progress as I train them, and it just gives you a whole different dynamic and a way of explaining and working with a client. I love the face-to-face. It's where you get that real appreciation of what you do too. So that's a big one for me, and hopefully once we move into the new place and I have my own gym in our garage, but I can take my clients there one-on-one. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm just working currently on another program for my app, adding resistance workouts in. So workouts that can be done at home and in the gym with some added weight.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's expanding. What's our audience loves to know, what's a good go-to smoothie for you?
Ooh, okay. Anything with, I love salted caramel. It's my favorite. So usually salted caramel, frozen banana, dates, maca powder, and some cacao.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think you
And
just
soy
named
milk.
like the
The
most perfect
the holy
smoothie
trinity.
ever.
You've
Yeah,
got the maca, cacao, and salted caramel.
that's it.
Yeah, I love it. And I love a fresh fruity one as well with some vanilla and berries.
Yes, yeah, I'm exactly the same. I'm either or, but
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah, depends what mood I'm in.
100%. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love it.
All right, the next question. I'm sure there's lots of maybe people out there who are very interested in entering the health and fitness industry. So what's some advice that you can give them on where to start, or anything, I guess, that you wish you knew when you started out?
I recommend finding a gym that you agree with their values, and even having an internship. Like, you don't necessarily need to be paid or anything, and just finding a mentor that can guide you. And it really teaches you, because doing your certification is great and you get all this knowledge, but if you have no real foundation to base that information off, then you're just not going to, it's not going to sink in as well. I find it's better if you're practically applying the information that you're learning at the same time. So if while you're studying, you have the opportunity, or even before you start studying in your certifications, you have the opportunity to do an internship at a gym, or maybe pick up a desk role at a gym. It'll just give you that much more context to what you're learning. And yeah, I think you'll thrive that way.
Yeah, so powerful. The practicality always beats the theory.
Definitely.
Yeah, nice. Tanya, this has been an amazing podcast. We've had a lot of fun, learned a lot about you, and it's just been really cool. Very educational, actually.
Yes, very. I've learned a lot.
I'm glad.
Yeah, it's been great. Can you let everyone know where they can find you on socials? Obviously, your app as well. Run us through everything.
Yeah, so my Instagram is just at Tanya Poppet, and my Facebook, which I'm not too active on, is just Tanya Poppet as well. So Instagram is probably your best bet. My website is tanyapoppet.com, nice and easy, and my app is Train with Tanya on the App Store.
Awesome. And it's spell your last name, because it's
sorry.
got two doubles.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. POPPETT.
Yeah, don't forget the double doubles.
Yeah.
Love it. Awesome. Thank you so much. Meg, you can close.
Amazing. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. Surely you'll be downing some more spirulina shots in the next few days now
Actually,
that
it
you've
was
got it
easy.
down packed.
That's your new morning routine right there.
I need to get some shot glasses.
The
They all
doubles,
got
yeah.
thrown out with my uni life.
When Laurie naps, quick shot. All right. No, thank you so much again. And I guess everyone tuning in, we'll see you at the next episode.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you so much.
Just a reminder before you leave, thank you so much again for tuning into the hashtag Who Dis podcast so far. Remember to hit that subscribe button right now so don't miss out on any future episodes, and also remember to share it with all of your friends. You can also find us at Topeka on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, Facebook, pretty much all over the web for all of your health and fitness inspo with a whole lot of fun.